Welcome back to the UnMeasured podcast. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day so far. We really do appreciate all of the love on social media. This episode of the podcast is a little bit different. Trevor was on the go during this episode, and the only time we could have squeezed one in during the evening would be in his car, so the quality isn't up to par, but I think it's kind of a cool little idea, something that we'll definitely be doing in the future when Trevor is traveling in his line of work. So again, not the highest quality of videos, but then again, you know, changing it up, trying some different stuff out. Hopefully you guys like it the same. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our conversation as well. Make sure you guys leave some comments in the YouTube video if you guys have anything that you can relate to on this topic. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this one. Again, please do follow us on any social media. You guys want updates with UnMeasured when we drop new merchandise, whenever a new podcast episode is up, and all of that good stuff. We really do appreciate it. But as always, guys, enjoy this episode of the UnMeasured podcast. Welcome back to the UnMeasured podcast, everybody. What is going on? We have quite a surprise for you guys today. An interesting first trial of a podcast, so hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. I don't think you guys are gonna mind too much, but we are on the road with yours truly, Trevor Hall. Trevor, how are we doing out there on the snow, buddy?
Doing good out here. The roads were a little icy this morning, but they've cleared up a lot now.
Okay.
We're feeling good. We're feeling good, and we're ready to get back on the podcast.
Hey, love it. You're looking good. You're looking good driving.
What's up, listeners? I can't see you right now, but
really?
I didn't know if you could see me. I'm glad you can.
Hey, we can see you. Well, kind of clear.
Yeah,
but that's pretty good for phone
best.
Quality. I will say that's not too bad at all.
This is the best I can do.
Yeah, you're looking great. Maybe a little better lighting in the future, but as long as we can see you.
Yeah. The best, I think I might get like a clip.
You want to say that one more time? You're kind of breaking up a little bit, buddy. Hold on, boys and girls. I think Trevor. Oh wait, he might be back here. Are you back, buddy?
Am I back now?
You're good now. You're just maybe hitting a different cell phone tower or something, but.
No, I was just saying maybe I should get a little clip-on light in my car for these car podcasts.
Hey, there you go. Not too bad though. Not too shabby.
Good. I think I need to hold. Is it better when I hold the mic closer to my mouth like this?
You sound great when you're doing that, for sure.
Okay. I should do this. Well, guys, welcome back to the 12th episode. First episode on the road.
That's
kind of fun to do it.
Interesting.
Kind of fun to do it. I will be heading into a Menards at some point throughout this episode.
Beautiful.
So
you're gonna test Trevor's vlogging skills right now.
I have to get some bags of salt. We just had the first snowfall here in Minnesota.
Dude, how many inches did we get? Like it was
just a couple, I think, but it was
just came out of nowhere. It was just like, oh,
it came out of nowhere. It was like 54 degrees in the middle of yesterday, and then all of a sudden, boom,
black ice on the roads.
It was windy. Yeah, it was icy this morning. It took me 2 hours to get to work, viewers, listeners.
Jeez, yeah. So you woke up at like 5 this morning?
Woke up at 5:45, headed out at 6:15. I didn't get to work until 8:15.
Jeez. So you stayed a little later today then, or?
No.
I
headed out at 5.
He was out of there. Jeez,
yeah,
and it's 7:40.
I was actually one of the earlier ones to the office, actually.
Really? Look at that! Wow.
I was the first one in the sales department today, but
yeah.
I mean, most people live only like 15 minutes away tops, and it took them like 30-45 minutes to get in today.
Good Lord.
That's crazy.
Not fun at all, sir.
No, siree. Well, it's cleared up now, though, which is good stuff. Good stuff. But it's good to be back on the potty. It's
always
good to be on the road doing a potty. It's a little different. I'll try to multitask here, but.
You just drive safe, buddy. All right, I'll focus on the
absolutely,
this podcast. All right,
absolutely. I'll be driving as safe as I can. There's a little ice here in our neck of the woods, though. Now that
is true. My mom said that there was like 50 accidents, and that was like 6 hours ago. So I can only imagine how many accidents there were today. Some people drive too fast for the ice. Gotta drive careful, man.
Yeah,
but
I know. There's always those people. I was thinking about that today. There's always those people that are like, the first snowfall of the year. Don't act like it's like the worst thing ever and you have to drive like 2 miles an hour. It's like, well,
yeah,
accidents happen and you slide off the road if you don't go.
Accidents happen going 25 miles an hour, bro. Like,
right.
imagine with snow on that. It's crazy. People are crazy, man. I drive safe.
Yeah,
I try to at least. But,
I know I can't afford another ticket.
Yeah, are you kidding? Yeah, how many? Speaking of tickets, buddy, let's go a little in here. How many tickets? Okay.
I have 2 tickets. Remember the one happened on our way to Nebraska?
I remember that one.
Was bogus. That was bogus because
was your second ticket the stop sign too?
Stop sign. Yeah, that was.
Oh, geez. I've been there for both your tickets, bud.
Actually, I have 3 tickets, and I have another speeding ticket.
Jeez.
I have 2 speeding tickets and that stop sign garbage one. That was crap. I got pulled over in my driveway.
The best part about that is your sister pulled in right after you and got pulled over.
She got pulled over for the same thing. She got a ticket.
She really did, though.
And I walked out into the driveway, and I see her getting pulled over.
Oh, jeez.
And the cop goes, whoa, stay back. And I was like, come on.
Come on, man.
You're on my property and my house.
Oh, jeez. You
can't just tell me to stay back. Like, it's kind of bogus. He's like, whoa. Like I was about to do something. I was like, dude, you just pulled me over. I'm in gym shorts and a t-shirt.
I'm in my house.
Yeah.
I'm in my driveway.
I'm making muffins inside. What?
Let me be.
I'm making dinner.
Oh my god.
No,
that's funny, dude. That's good juice.
How many tickets do you have?
I have 1. I was going 18 over. I was trying to pass someone on the freeway and it was a 55. I was going.
Yeah, I remember this.
I was pissed.
It was right on 10 West, right?
Right on West, yeah, 10 West, and it was when the construction was going on over there, so I had to like get over right away. Otherwise, you just merge behind. But the guy wouldn't let me in, so I'm like, great. So I got to speed up and just go past this guy. Nope, not today.
Not today, Junior.
Not today. And it was a sheriff too, so you know I was not getting off on that one.
You were in
screwed.
trouble.
Yep. Happens.
Well,
though.
Good stuff. I think today we have a few things on the agenda for the podcast. One, we wanted to talk about your dream you had the other night. Then we want to move on. We want to talk about like how bizarre sleep is in general.
Yeah,
and,
really.
And just some. I think some people have some different views on how much you should sleep and all that stuff. So we can go into that a little bit, and then. Yeah. What was my last one I wanted to talk a little bit about like self-awareness today.
Okay.
Self-awareness, I think it's just a very, very important thing to, especially at our age. I think as you're growing up, it's very important to know what you're bad at, what you need to improve on. So I think we can go into that too.
Yeah,
so that's what we got. That's what we got on the agenda for the live viewers and the podcasters. Shout out to everyone who's been listening on iTunes. We do appreciate
it.
And all our eppies are live on YouTube now too. So go check it out.
Yep. All right. We're good to go.
Let's hear this story, Brennan. I haven't even heard the full thing. I just gave
you like a summary. I mean, it's like pretty short, but just the fact that it was so vivid was incredible. And I think you were the one that was mentioning this to me, or someone else possibly. I only told a couple people about it, but they say when you remember a dream that vividly, it's almost to that next step of lucid dreaming, if you know what lucid dreaming is. And for those people listening or watching don't know, lucid dreaming is where you can control your dreams. And I'm honestly too scared to even try it.
Oh, I never want to try that. That sounds so freaky.
I've heard some freaky stories where like people are like in sleep paralysis, which has happened to me. Sleep paralysis is you wake up and your body is not moving. You can't move your body, but you're wide awake. It's happened to me a couple times.
I've had that actually quite a bit.
I have too, dude. It's happened to me quite a few times.
Yeah, it's happened to me a good amount now where when I wake up and I can't move my body, like I just know what's happening. Like my mind can just be like, oh yeah, I just need to like
Sometimes
go back
it happens to me so frequently. This is only when I'm really exhausted though, or like my body just really needs rest. Sometimes like my sleep just kind of gets out of whack. Like your it's got to be something with your REM sleep getting out of whack. But sometimes I know it's going to happen and I'm like it's so hard to describe, but I'm in sleep paralysis and I know I'm in sleep paralysis, but I can almost fight my way out of it, if it makes sense. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, I can.
So mentally you just have to
Yeah, mentally
sit there for a while and then
sit there for a little bit, focus really hard, and just power your way through it. It's really weird, but it's happened to me quite a few times.
So bizarre.
But but yeah, going back to the dream.
So yes, and all the listeners, I guess. Brennan just had an incredible, crazy dream.
I'll call it a nightmare because it was horrible. Sunday night, I believe. Yes, Sunday night.
Sunday night, he had a crazy dream.
It was the worst dream I've ever had, I think, because it was. So I'll start it off as simple as I can remember, I guess. But basically, I don't know where I was, but I was like I'm trying to describe the setting for everyone so they can kind of visualize it with me. But there's a little like bookshelf type of thing, and there's like a staircase on the left and a staircase on the right. So imagine that, and there's this like little kid. Like, he kept stealing something from me or something like that. I wasn't a little kid, but it was a smaller dude. I don't quite remember, but this kid kept taking stuff from me when I was trying to, like, I don't even remember what I was trying to do, but I was next to this bookshelf, basically. And dreams are so weird because, like, it's not realistic at all, most of them. But I was sick and tired of this dude just bugging me and taking my stuff and doing this, and he came back and I just grabbed him by his shirt and just kind of flung him. But I flung him so hard, I guess, in the dream that this fool went flying down the stairs, dude, and he snapped his neck, bro. I killed a man. I murdered someone in my own dream. And the craziest part about it was I got like arrested in the dream and I got sent to like prison and stuff. And then it just kind of ended right there. But right when it ended, I woke up in another dream state in my own dream. So think of like the movie Inception, kind of. That's literally what happened to me. So I woke up in my own dream while dreaming, thinking about that nightmare. And so I'm really confused, but at the same time, I'm not, because I know I'm dreaming inside my own dream. And so after that, I tell myself to wake up, and I wake up and my heart is like, like it's pounding super fast, and like, I'm sweating and stuff, dude. I wake up and I was like, oh, so I wake up. This is in reality now. I'm actually awake. I literally check my phone.
So how did you know that you got out of your first dream and you were still in a dream? What made you like realize?
Because a lot of the time when I ever have like a nightmare, which is very, very, very seldom, or just like a crazy dream that's like frightening, I guess, I always wake up right away. And so I just figured that had to be fake in my own dream, which even confused me even more because I was still asleep. But it just, dude, dreams are weird. But at the end of that, I woke up in reality, so I'm actually awake, sweating, heart pounding, just ferociously freaking out a little bit on the inside because I'm like, holy crap, I just killed someone. I just murdered someone. And I check my phone, I pull up my camera roll just to make sure I'm real, like I'm poking myself, just like, okay, and then I wake up and this is like at 4 a.m. and I didn't go back to sleep the entire rest of the day, dude. And my mom was like, why are you up so early? I'm like, I'm gonna be real with you, Mom. I had the worst nightmare of my life. And she's like, what about? I'm like, Mom, I murdered someone. and she's like, she's like, you need to go be saved again or something. I was like,
she said that?
Yeah, that's what my mom said. But it was crazy, dude. The craziest part about it was so real, bro. Like, I've never had a dream that has felt so real and that I've remembered to this day. Like, I remember in psychology class, which was an awesome class that I took in high school. We tried to wake up. The second we woke up, we wrote down what we remembered from our dreams. A lot of the time you didn't remember, but sometimes you would, and it was just interesting, and I could rewrite that entire thing out, which is crazy. So I was probably this close, Trevor, to lucid dreaming and controlling my own dream without even knowing it.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that's pretty much my dream story. Sleep's a weird thing, dude.
Sleep is a weird thing. I think that's a crazy, crazy dream. I've never had one like that ever in my life.
Have you ever remembered a dream though, vividly? Just like you could pull it up right now, or like anything like that?
Never one that will like up and be like, oh yeah, I remember this dream. It was like, yesterday. But I've had dreams where I have recurring dreams.
I do too.
Where like I have the same ones where like I'll wake up from one where I feel like I'm falling.
Oof.
I'll like you know like ones that you're like for example, I remember one from when I was little, like where I like fell off a staircase and I was like falling, and right before you hit the ground you wake up. I've had that. I've had recurring dreams about tornadoes.
Really?
Like even in our backyard, like where we live, I've had a dream of that.
Really?
Those are the two where I most vividly remember recurring dreams happening, and like I always think of that. I'm like, I wonder why I have recurring dreams about falling and tornadoes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, dude. Like maybe you were younger at one point, or obviously you're younger and you watched like a movie about a tornado or something, and then you went to bed. Like, I mean, just the weirdest things like that happen. You remember it right before you go to bed, and then it must just click in your dream, or you're thinking about. I don't know. It's weird, dude.
Yeah, one thing could be that like one of my number one fears is heights. Where I was like thinking maybe that's why the falling one. Okay. But now like I don't really give a rip about heights. Like, it doesn't bother me as much.
It bothers me a little bit, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, I'm really high up in the air, you know?
Right. The times I'm extremely
anxious,
extremely scared of heights is when I'm super.
Your Discord's kind of.
In
Hold on, technical difficulties. Trevor's on the road on his phone. Oh wait, there you are. You're back. Welcome back, bud.
Okay.
Anyways,
no, the shoot. What was I just saying? Oh. I have the only times I'm like anxious about being high up is if I'm on an extremely tall building and I'm outside. So like when I went to New York and we were up on a tall building, I was like, oh my gosh, this is super freaky. Yeah. And my legs get a little like queasy, and my stomach just doesn't feel good, and I get a little like anxious. Yeah. But I think that might be like a reason the falling one happens is like maybe. But I know a lot of people have falling dreams. The tornado one is interesting because I have no idea where that came
that's
from.
weird.
I don't remember watching a movie or anything.
Yeah, I've had ones where there's like dark figures chasing me and stuff, but.
Oh, I've had that.
Yeah,
I've
had that quite a few times. He's like a giant ball where he's trying to squish me. He's a shadow thing's trying to squish me, dude.
Yeah, I've had that.
I had that as a little kid, and I used to freak out. I was like run to mom and dad, and just like freak out and then be gone. Yeah. But I've never.
Yeah, I remember those. But that's so crazy. I have never had a dream where like I wake up and I remember every detail, and I could like recite what my dream was like. And the thing that I always have is I remember it like 5 minutes after, and if I try to think about it 15 minutes later, I don't remember what it was even it was even about, which is crazy. That's
why I kind of freaked out about that dream, because I still remember it, you know? Like that's really weird. You don't really just remember dreams like that unless they were real or like they felt real. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but
that is insane.
Yeah, that's the most crazy, insane experience I've ever had in a dream. Like I even tweeted about it at like 5 a.m. I was freaking out.
I saw that.
I was just
I got an Instagram message from Brennan at like 5 a.m. and I was like, why in the world you didn't work this morning? Why were you up at 5 a.m.?
That is why.
I texted him. I was like, why are you up? He's like, I had the craziest dream ever and I couldn't fall back asleep. I was like, oh my gosh, this must have been.
It was horrifying. Must have been
crazy.
It was horrifying, dude. When you think you actually murder someone, I was like, oh my god, like come on.
Do you? I know you. I asked you because you had like a couple drinks at Matt's and you're on your keto diet. And I know like stuff like that can affect you and like the way you sleep and the way like I know alcohol can, especially. Yeah. Just if you haven't had in a while, it can like affect the way you sleep. Do you think that might have played a role at all?
I think it did play a role. I think it's the reason it happened, because my body's been free of any toxin, any sugar, anything like that for, I'd probably say almost a month and a half at this point. And just to have, I mean, it didn't have much, but like maybe 2 mixed drinks, if that, and just boom, just out of nowhere, and it just
killed you.
It just killed me, because I mean, I've been it was frightening. But I think that
That's
played a
crazy.
huge role in it because my body's been so like free of any crap. I just put a little bit of it in and just hit me like a truck is what I think. Because I fell asleep instantly that night.
Yeah.
Just instantly. So I don't know, man. It was interesting, but I thought I had to share that with some people because I was like, man, that was something else, my dude.
I'm sure some people in the chat and people listening to this podcast have had something that
for sure. If any of you guys
point.
listening, whether you're commenting here on iTunes or YouTube or whatever, comment down below on any weird occurrence you've had in a dream. We'd love to hear some of it and maybe see if we've had something similar happen to us, because I'm sure it has for most people. So yeah, let us know down in the comments and stuff like that. But I was gonna mention, Trev, how weird sleep is, because I have like a couple scenarios, I guess, on how I think sleep affects your whole day in a process of your whole day. Like, let's just say, I mean, our age, we're, almost mid-20s now. They say we need almost as much sleep as a baby, basically, right?
Yeah,
I've heard that before.
We need at least
7 hours, right?
8 to 10 or something.
It was 8 to 10? Really?
I don't know. That's what I've heard.
I mean, I probably sleep on average 7 hours a day on a good night.
I probably get
depends on a
7.
good night. I guess my work with my work stuff, probably 6 to 7 then on a solid night. But there are nights where, like, on the weekends I'll sleep in like 8 hours. But dude, if I go past that 8-hour mark, I feel more sluggish and exhausted than I do if I got just like a normal 6 to 7 hour sleep. I don't know. I feel like that affects your whole day.
Yeah, I think I notice that on the weekends, because during the week I'm obviously getting up early. But on the weekends, I'll have like a couple nights where I stay out super late and I wake up at 10. And what I think about sleep, I think it's a mixture of how much sleep you get and when you're going to bed, when you're waking up, because you can still get 8 hours sleeping from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. But for some reason, when I'm waking up at 10 a.m., I'm still like, I feel like I wasted the day and my energy's gone.
Dude, I was about to just mention that, but go on.
If I sleep from, say, like 10 to 6, I feel way more energized, and for some reason I just feel way more productive during that day. Even though I'm getting the same amount of sleep, I'm just waking up earlier.
Yep, 100%. And I can definitely agree with you there, because obviously I like to put as much content out as I possibly can on stream and get editing done on YouTube, and just, I like to work and get it all done. And when I wake up late or I'm late to something, oh dude, it drives me insane. I mean, I'm one of those people that shows up to places earlier. That's just how I am. But and when I wake up late, I get pissed at myself, honestly. Like when I'm like, I set my alarm for this time and I don't wake up. A big problem for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, dude, is the snooze button. Whoever invented that gosh darn thing is the worst human alive, because, dude, I'm not even kidding you. There is like something subconsciously in my brain that tells me and my body that my snooze or my alarm is going to go off like 5 seconds ahead of time, and my hand is already there, like, and I'm still asleep, and then I hit that shit. Bro, I'm not even kidding. I might do it in my sleep sometimes. I'm not even kidding. It's that bad.
I know that feeling,
dude.
I do it where I set an alarm for, at least when there was no snow on the ground, it was 6 and 6:30 a.m. and I auto snooze. So I'd wake up at 6 and I'd realize, okay, that's my first alarm. I'd always say to myself, maybe I get up at 6 today just to get my day going earlier. Nope. I always hit that snooze button, dude. And it's such a funny thing. You just feel a lot more productive. Even when you get that half hour of sleep, it's like, did this really do anything for me? Because I don't think it did.
And here's another thing. You mentioned the half hour thing. Dude, sometimes I will sleep for 30 minutes after like a pull-up day at work, and I will feel like a new man. I don't know if that's just like me trying to, like, my body trying to get back into like my REM cycle, even though it takes like a couple hours for you to get into REM. It's like my body like works differently to like make my body rest for that 30 minutes. It's a really weird thing, bro. It's a really weird thing.
It is. I think the weirdest thing to me, as we're talking about sleep, is how it affects everybody differently, and how everyone can go off of a certain amount of sleep and different schedules and all that stuff, where you'll hear people that sleep for 4 hours a night and absolutely can crush their day.
My dad.
And you can hear people that, and that works for them. They get enough energy off of it. And then there's people that need like 10 hours. Otherwise, they feel like they're half dead. And it's like, wait, it's such a weird thing. And I know a podcaster named Tim Ferriss has experimented with like a bunch of different types of sleeping. And I know a lot of, honestly, if you think about it, a lot of the people I've listened to on podcasts that are very successful, no, that are very successful have experimented with their sleep cycles.
Yeah, dude, it's interesting for sure. I mean, I guess I have experienced my sleep cycle a little bit differently, because I mean, my schedule during I guess outside of the office work, going on your feet and getting up early for me, my normal schedule is I get up at the latest 9 a.m. So not too early, not too late type of stuff, but sometimes it'll be 8, 9 a.m. That's usually like my get up in the morning type of stuff. Work days, outside work days out of the office, I am up at around 3:15 to 3:40 depending on the day. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. Like, I know these guys experimented with that, the kind of different sleep schedules for a long period of time. So like, I know Tim Ferriss did it for like a year.
What was his experiment? One of them, I should say. You know,
I'm trying to remember. I thought it was like, I think he experimented with napping throughout the day. I think he experimented through, I don't know. This one, I don't think it was Tim Ferriss, but I think it's the guy that does like all the brain boosting coffee and food like that. Have you heard of that?
I've heard about it. Yeah.
He did a thing where he did like a complete college sleep schedule where you like go to bed at 2 a.m. and wake up at 8 a.m. and like he did a bunch of that stuff and kind of was figuring out how it affects your body, and he found out like the best sleep schedule for him throughout that. And it's so interesting how
it's different for everyone, though. I feel like it really is.
Right. No, yeah, it is. He was doing it for himself, and he was kind of pushing towards, hey, experiment with it, see what works best for you, see what's like really, really bad, so you can avoid sleeping like that. Yeah. You know what else is interesting about sleep, and I've never looked into it enough, is there's two things. One, how people techniques, like I'm a side sleeper.
Yeah,
I can maybe nap on my stomach, but I'm scared of laying on my back because I heard that's how you lucid dream. So I'm literally like I'm against back sleeping.
How do you know you don't sleep on your back though? You don't know.
I don't, dude. Trust me, I do not do it. I'm serious. I would no, I'm serious. I hate it. I hate the feeling. I'm a side sleeper till the day I die. I wake up on my sides. I fall asleep on my sides. I've never woken up one time and laying on my back or my stomach.
Yeah, I sleep on my side for sure. I can't remember a time I sleep on my back, but I'm definitely a major, at least I remember falling asleep on my side. So I don't know. I don't think I've ever controlled my dreams. Not that I know of, at least. So
I haven't either, but I've definitely been aware that I'm like in my dream, and I don't think I've ever been able to control it, but kind of like, have you ever been in a dream where you're like, I can't wait to see how this ends, and I want the story to keep going.
And then you get jebaited at the end, and you wake up.
And then you wake up, and you're like, dang it, if I could just fall asleep and get back into that dream.
Dude, I have tried.
That could be that could be an Oscar right there.
All right, here's a shot in the dark for you. This has happened to me on a few occasions, and it'll probably happen again. It's like these I wouldn't say once in a lifetime, but once in an every full moon type of dream, where I vividly remember that dream for about, like you said, the 15-minute mark, where you remember it right when you wake up and you're like, God, that dream was awesome. And then you forget about it. But then I'll go back to that dream like months down the road, and I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, we're here again," and then it'll go away again. It's one of those types of things. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but it's happened to me on like 2 or 3 different occasions, and it's just like, wow, I want to know what happens, dude.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if I've ever been. I don't know if I've ever came back to the same dream, like back to the same story. But I've definitely, I guess it's kind of like a recurring dream, but I don't think I've continued the story, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. Yeah, I've continued the story a little bit. It was really cool. I can't remember it, but
that's actually really tight.
I dreamed and I woke up and then I went back into that dream like months down the road, and I remembered ending there, and it continued, and I was like, this is amazing. I don't want to wake up right now.
That's so sick. That's so sick. I think it'd be awesome if technology was able to advance far enough where we could like not mess with dreams, but be able to see like why we're dreaming what we're dreaming.
Oh, I'm sure there's some type of stuff out there, dude, where it somehow like reads the brain a proper way and shows why that person's dreaming about that, or why they would be thinking about that at a time like this type of thing, you know? I'm sure there's something like that, dude, guaranteed.
And you know what else about dreams is that you remember such a small part of it. Like your dream that night, you remember probably what, 2 minutes of what you dreamed?
Yeah,
tops.
I mean, I remembered the 2 minutes, yeah.
And you dreamed for 8 hours. So it's like, imagine that time period, but why did you... I know you remember that piece because you literally murdered someone in your dream, but like, why is that other 7 hours and 58 minutes just tossed to the side, and how come we don't remember that part?
Don't quote me on this. I think I learned about this in psychology. I've heard that your dreaming starts after your REM cycle in the morning, like right when I've heard where like when you hit your REM cycle, you start to dream, and like more vivid dreams are right before you wake up. I don't know if that's quote for quote, but I remember something along those lines. So I think the reason why people don't remember a lot of their dreams is because they wake up right after and it's just gone. You're not in that dream state anymore. So
right, that makes sense.
I think that, don't quote me though, all right? Any viewers watching, all right? Psychologist, hey, he's wrong. He's wrong. He's just pulling stuff out of his butt.
Watch. Yeah, you'll see screenshots of when it actually happens, and you'll see.
It's got to be along those lines, but
it makes sense.
Dude. It does. It makes sense. It does.
Well, that's crazy. Yeah, dreaming will always blow my mind, and I don't think we're ever meant to fully understand what we're dreaming.
I don't either.
Never.
I don't.
And I don't think technology will ever, at least in my lifetime, ever be far enough where it'll be like, oh yeah, you dreamed this, because I don't think that'll happen, but you never know.
Yeah.
It's really cool stuff. But should we move on?
Yeah, you wanted to mention something, and we got about 10 minutes left, so we could probably squeeze your little segment. 10 minutes left? Yeah, it's been 33
I just
minutes.
Wow. I think we can do a quick segment on this. But, one thing I keep thinking to myself about, and I'm like, I'm conscious of, like, whenever I'm having a conversation or whenever I'm doing something, I'm always trying to be conscious of like how I'm doing. So if I'm working on my computer, if I'm having a conversation with my boss, I'm always like, how am I communicating? Like, how am I doing in my life? How are my car? How hard am I working? Like, if someone were watching me, what would they say about me? If I asked someone like, hey, how would you explain my work life? How would you explain my relationship life? How would you explain this stuff? I'm always trying to, how am I? And I want to be, that's one thing I want to be very good at, is knowing my strengths, my weaknesses, like in everything, in every area of my life, being like, man, this is my strong suit. This is what I really thrive on. And then, and in everyday life, not just in like huge things, but everything I'm doing is, I want to be very conscious of what I'm doing. And, does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
I want to be
100%, dude. I think the same exact way.
I want to be aware of what I'm doing, but also not like over almost getting kind of timid and being like, off a little bit. But I also want to be aware. So it's a weird of and overthinking things.
Yeah, dude. I think very similar. I did it. I guess I overthought a lot in that situation, because I at least I used to be like this when I was, I'd say, like going into high school and then starting to figure out how to do content creation and how to properly push that out. And I overthought a lot, and I do it sometimes to this day, but I'm a lot better at it now. I used to overthink everything, and it's not a bad thing to overthink. I feel like it's good and bad, I should say, because it's good to try and figure out where your weaknesses are or where your strengths are, and it's good to, like you were mentioning, like figuring out what I need to work on, or what someone's gonna think of me when they hear me, or am I a well worded or a well spoken person, or am I do I sound intellectual? Do I sound stupid? All that stuff goes through, I feel like, everyone's heads to a certain degree, not necessarily having to do with business or talking to clients and stuff, but just on a level of talking to someone. I feel like a lot of the time where you just like, how do I sound? Like, what is that person thinking when I'm speaking to them? Do I sound smart? Am I dumb? Yeah. Like, you don't really know, because you're you, and you've always heard yourself. Right. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, I always wonder, like, when I'm talking to my boss or when I'm talking to someone at work and I'm talking about a serious topic, I'm always like, I try to like keep stuff fun, and that's just my personality. And I try to like bring positivity to every conversation I'm having. And I always wonder, like, I wonder what this person thinks of the way I'm talking. Like, do they think I sound young? Do they think I sound smart? Do they think, like, I always wonder that stuff. And one thing that I really, 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 like, I've made this known before, but I want to be a great communicator. So, like, I want to be a person that, if it comes to public speaking at a place, I want to be able to do it. And because I really do get juiced up about public speaking and doing that stuff. I get very nervous, but and that's one thing that I'm always like very conscious of. I'm like, how am I as a communicator? I want to be very good in this area, and I know I'm only 22 years old, and a lot of the greatest communicators in the world are like, they become better and better as they grow older, and they get like to 40 years old, and boom, they haven't arrived, but they're a very good communicator, and they keep getting better. So that's one thing that I'm always very conscious of, because that's what I want to be really good at. And I think it'd be fun. Honestly, I was thinking this on a podcast, to have a reflection time where this is a super important thing that I think people need to do, is to sit down with some of the closest people in your life and be able to say, like, hey, this is what you're really good at. This is what you're really not good at, without like tearing them down, but to be able to say, like,
constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism. And it really does build people up, and it gets them better, because when you can have good combos like that, it really does help people see where you're at. Like if you were to tell me right now, Brennan, live on this podcast, how am I as a communicator? What would you say? You don't have to answer it. What would you say my best parts and my worst parts are?
Best parts? I honestly think you're pretty good at communicating. If I can be honest, I think you overthink it too much, like me, a little bit.
Oh yeah, I do.
But other than that, I mean, you're a pretty good communicator. I mean, obviously, you and me can speak from the same point. We've both been in the sales department before, and, talking to different personalities and trying to read different people obviously helps, us being more spoken and stuff. So
I think more than anything, I want to be able to not just be a communicator that like talks at people, but one that connects with people. So that's what I want to be like the best at. Seriously. I want to be like the best at connecting with people, no matter who they set in front of me. Like, I want to just be able to have conversation for like an hour,
Yeah, dude.
with somebody, and have it not just be small talk, but be able to like dive into stuff. And I'm excited like that. So that if there's one thing that really excites me in life, it's like, man, communication with people, connecting with people is so cool. But we should actually do that on a podcast. Be like, hey, if you like, let's write down like 10 areas of life and be like, hey, how are you at this area? And literally like be able to dissect into each other's lives and be like, oh, okay, I could improve on that for sure.
Yeah,
That'd be fun. That'd be bogus. Everyone would be ripping us apart in the chat. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah, dude, it's not a bad idea. I mean, the people only learn from their mistakes and learn from something that is, I mean, in some aspects affecting them negatively in their life, and they're letting it bring them down. But
right. Like I think one thing that's actually brought me down when I was in high school, people would call me like awkward, because you're in high school, you're awkward, whatever. So I think that in the back of my head is still like, man, am I a weird communicator with people? Am I not like, do I have to be weird to communicate? Is that my style? I don't think I am. But that's one thing. It's those little 2-second comments that should never bother a person.
What it does, dude.
But can stick with someone forever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm probably awkward, whatever. No, I'm just, but it's those little like 2-second comments, and if I'm awkward, I'm awkward. If I'm not, I'm not. I really shouldn't give a rip.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it took me years to realize. I mean, I wasn't outgoing at all. I mean, I was only, comfortable with my group in high school, like a lot of people are. But as I kind of grew up and talked to different people in school and got to meet different people, and I was one of those people, once I got out of my comfort zone, at least in school, I was able to talk to anyone, have a good conversation with them. And that, I think for me personally, advanced what I do to this day. I literally, Trevor, talk to people for 7 hours a day, every single day, and I have not met about 95% of these people face to face, but I can sit down and I can have a deep conversation with people and really dissect different things about my life and their life. And it's, like I said, it's one of the coolest things in the world is interaction, like you were saying. And I absolutely love what I do, and I don't ever want to do anything else with it, because it's just such a cool, area of life. And I just have so much more to learn about it, and I have so much more to improve on. And I just think it'll really help, me progress to what I want to do. So I don't know. I absolutely love it, man.
Yeah. I think I seriously do think that'd be an awesome podcast someday. If we wanted to do that, it would take a little bit of like sitting down, writing, but we could do it.
Yeah,
so that's probably time on the podcast.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes left.
Wow.
So we got 2 minutes left to close it.
Is anyone saying anything in the chat or anything?
Just mentioning some stuff about dreams and stuff, and like what people were dreaming about and that sort of stuff. But other than that, man, just people just chilling, kicking it back,
man,
and enjoying it.
This is a fun podcast. I'm sitting in the Menards parking lot right now.
I can see that.
About to go get some salt bags.
Love that, dude. Love that.
But that was a fun potty, guys. Thank you all for tuning in.
Really do appreciate it, guys, for sure.
Seriously.
We're going to be doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff with UnMeasured here in the next week, guys. So make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at UnMeasuredPod. Go check us out there. Turn on notifications. We might have some little giveaway action before Christmas, so stay tuned on that. When Trevor's traveling, we're probably going to be doing some of these more often. Maybe he'll bring like a mic or something next time. I don't know. We'll experiment with on-the-go podcasting and take it from there. But Discord, come back.
Hello?
Trevor's is he back? He is back, I think.
Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you, buddy. You're just frozen, but it's all good. Okay. It's all good. We just lost it for a second.
Like 80 times.
Oh, jeez. I heard it like twice, but we're back.
I said okay. All right. Well, yeah. We'll be doing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes. Wait until our new T-shirts come out. At some point, we're gonna be
doing
a new
rebranding project here in the very near future. So
we will probably have a new logo by February 1st.
Guaranteed.
guaranteed maybe January 1st.
Honestly, it might be at the start of the new year. A new year, new UnMeasured, baby. All right.
So we're gonna kind of go for a little rebrand. We'll see what happens.
I'm excited, man.
But yeah, that was a fun podcast. This is an efficient way to do it here.
Yeah, dude, Discord's where it's at, man. I can record it and everything, especially if you're out of state, obviously. Well,
I love it.
Make a pretty big difference, but yeah, dude,
Yeah.
for sure. Anyways, guys,
All
that
right,
is
guys.
our 45 minutes of talking. We could have probably gone for hours, but Trevor's got to do stuff.
Easy.
He's got to get sand in his truck and do shiz.
Gotta get
okay?
sand. Should I go sand or should I get salt bags? Probably salt bags.
Sand's heavier, I thought, but I mean,
Sand might be heavier, but I think that might rip easier.
definitely could rip easier. I mean, do
Might
whatever,
rip
do
it.
whatever you need to do, dog. Just need a little weight.
I'm probably just gonna cover's cheaper.
There you go. Man's got to save money, brother.
Yeah, that's right, brother. Gotta save that money.
All right,
Guys,
everybody.
Thank you all for tuning in to the 12th episode.
Hey.
That was a ton of fun. And we will have another one coming out probably Saturday.
Yeah,
or
we'll try to
Sundays.
get some of this out tonight and
Yes.
get that to you guys on iTunes, and this uploaded in the next couple days, probably around Friday. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys follow our social media sites, all of that good stuff. Turn on notifications for it. Follow me and Trevor on our personal accounts if you want. Pay attention to our Instagram, all that good stuff. But as always, this has been your boy Brennan.
This is Trevor.
And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace out.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Appreciate it as always. You guys are killing it with the support on social media, like always. Thank you so much. We hopefully you guys did enjoy. We do appreciate it. Yeah, leave us some feedback, like the video, comment, subscribe for more content. Go check us out on iTunes. We're up on there, SoundCloud as well, and we're possibly looking to get into the new streaming of Spotify in the future, see what we can cook up on there. But appreciate it as always, guys. Thank you so much. Follow our social media links. You know the whole drill. But as always, guys, this has been your boy Brennan from the UnMeasured Podcast, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.